Hello, my name is Alan Golden, and I have the absolute honor of introducing one of my longest St. Mary's friends, Hafsa Qureshi. When I was deciding how to introduce my fellow Latin scholar, the Taylor Swift superfan, AP Bio warrior, and croc-wearing classmate, I landed on one title that really encapsulates Hafsa, Best Bella Vista Member. I chuckle at this because even though for the better part of 3 years, Hafsa has come to weekly meetings, brainstormed ideas, filmed and edited videos in her free time, and even owns the Bella Vista sweatshirt, she's not technically in Bella Vista. That's right, she never once applied for Bella Vista. She just showed up one day with her friends because she had, quote, nothing else to do. While just showing up to a publication is usually frowned upon, Hafsa adds irreplaceable wit, humor, and overall uplifting spirit to RA days. And I believe this reveals who Hafsa is: hardworking, dedicated, and loyal. And I know we're all glad her attempt to leave St. Mary's in 8th grade failed because the wild roller coaster called high school would not have been the same without her hilarious, supportive, and kind presence. So here's the birthday girl herself, Hafsa Numan Qureshi.
It was the first day of 7th grade. I had just transferred to St. Mary's. It was a completely different environment than I had been used to, with a bunch of people that I had never met. Therefore, I made it my mission to stay reserved so people didn't judge me. If someone invited me to sit with them, I would quietly reply, "Nah, I'm good." Sometimes I would catch myself eavesdropping on other people's conversations, quietly laughing at their jokes to myself. I also completely stopped doing any of my homework because I didn't think the teachers would notice I was even in their class. One time, I was in English when I suddenly felt myself dozing off. I thought that this would be a typical dozing off situation where I would fall into a light sleep and then jerk awake in a repeated cycle until the end of class. However, this is not what happened. I ended up falling into a deep slumber. The next thing I knew, I was opening my eyes to a completely empty classroom, with the teacher gently tapping me on the shoulder, telling me to please leave already. Had I just put in the effort to make friends with the people around me, someone definitely would have awakened me before the teacher had to, and this very embarrassing situation would have never happened. After many months of keeping to myself, I noticed that I was neither cool nor mysterious. I literally had no friends, and it was my own fault. I knew I needed to make a change. I finally decided to come out of my shell and start making friends. I felt like I had finally made it, but I knew deep down that I was still trying to fit myself into others' expectations, changing the way I talked and the things I laughed at in an attempt to be more normal. By the time 8th grade had started, I thought I had figured it out. I was excited to come back to school and talk to people. However, this year, I started wearing hijab. Unfortunately, nobody recognized me. Teachers who had taught me before struggled to remember my name. One teacher looked me dead in the eye and asked me, "Are you new? What's your name?" I had spent too much time trying to blend in that a slight change of my appearance resulted in no one remembering me at all. Fast forward to senior year. The idea of changing myself seems completely foreign to me. Now, when overhearing someone's conversation, I would never think twice before obnoxiously butting in, even if no one was talking to me. I could never imagine being ashamed of my beat-up silver Honda CR-V with the top of my trunk missing from when I mistakenly backed into Alicia's house, leaving behind an almost 90-degree angle dent in her garage door. I absolutely love annoyingly shouting many overused phrases, some including bro, bruh, or any off-putting noise. At literally any other school, I would most likely get made fun of for these things. But at St. Mary's, I feel comfortable knowing that no matter what, nobody will judge me. To my fellow class of 2026, I want to leave you all with a quote from the show SpongeBob SquarePants. A great sponge once said, "F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for anywhere, anytime at all. Even though by this time next year, we will all be in different places, rediscovering ourselves. Just know that if you ever want to laugh or have some fun, please do not hesitate to reach out, because I'll be there anywhere, anytime at all." Thank you.